Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. This is your host, Fred Arnold, on the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight, and I'm joined by Wayne Smith. Wayne Smith is a professional entrepreneur with SCI and Associates Insurance Services. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Fred.
So tell me about SCI and Associates, the inspiration behind your company.
All right, well, basically we're an independent insurance agency that specializes in health insurance for employers and for individuals.
So, different services. Tell me about the insurance that you specialize in.
Well, primarily it's health insurance, and as I said, our goal is to find the most affordable and quality value we can for the client, being an employer or an employee. And fortunately, we've been doing this for a long time, so we've gotten pretty good at it, in my humble opinion. And we have a database that has virtually every major health plan in it, so we can search the entire market to try to find the best value for the client.
And I noticed when I went on your website that there's quite a few providers that you provide insurance for. When somebody's shopping for insurance, they normally are not shopping for insurance for the first time, or more normally it's for the first time because they had it through their employer.
Right.
But when an individual is self-employed or needs to find insurance, what are some of the questions or what are some of the things they should be looking for?
All right. Well, I think first of all you want to go with a named carrier, someone that you recommend. Oftentimes people will go to a little known company, maybe domiciled in the Midwest or whatever, and those companies typically are not as stable financially. They also don't offer the value that the mainline carriers do. So it's important that you go with a carrier that you recognize. Kaiser, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, HealthNet, companies that are well established and provide a high degree of service.
Now you mentioned some of the services. Let's talk about value, because I get the fact that someone's smaller, someone's unproven. Right. I get that. Mm-hmm. But what do you mean by value? What kind of value are you looking for when it comes to health insurance?
Well, basically you want to balance affordability with quality of coverage. Now, you can get some very scaled-down plans that look attractive rate-wise, but they leave some serious gaps in coverage. And so that's what you have to be careful of, is you don't want to sacrifice quality with price. You have to find that balance between the two.
So let's talk about price, because price is more than just the annual premium you're going to pay. It's right. The deductibles, it's surgery, it's the other items that you have to pay in addition to.
Right. Well, if you're doing, there's two broad types of medical insurance. There's PPO plans that allow you freedom of choice of doctors and hospitals, but you pay a percentage of the cost of care, and you have a deductible, that sort of thing. Then the other side is the HMOs, where you typically have a flat co-payment for all services. You go to the doctor, it's $30. You have emergency care, it's $150. So, but you are limited to your choice of providers. It has to be within that HMO network.
Within that group. One thing I learned personally was I had a HMO, and we switched to a PPO, but we were going to the same doctors as the HMO, but paying more, so we went back to the HMO. Yeah. So it's really important to find out what doctors are on the list of the HMOs, because they might very well be the doctors that you want.
It could be. Now, generally speaking, your selection of doctors is much less on an HMO because of the reimbursement system that physicians work under in HMO. Typically, I'd say guesstimate about 30% of physicians will take an HMO of some sort, whereas about 70 to 80% of physicians will take a PPO. So your choice of providers is much wider if you do a PPO, but you have to be willing to share that share of expense.
Now, there's one thing I want to ask you. I want to change gears real quick. We only have about a minute. It says travel insurance on your website, so I have to ask you about travel insurance.
Okay.
Is it the kind where I'm talking about you go on a vacation and you pay an extra premium, that type of insurance?
You do. And typically, your normal health plan will only cover you for emergencies if you're outside the United States, and that's it. travel insurance will cover not only emergencies, but routine type of care. If you get the flu in Belgium, well, you can go see a doctor. Also, they have air ambulance if you need that and you have to be evacuated to a medical center of specialization. That's provided. So there's a number of benefits to doing travel insurance that you wouldn't have under your normal insurance.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you, Wayne, for coming in. And Wayne, how can those listening and watching this on the internet, how can they reach you?
Well, they can reach us, probably the best two ways is call 661-702-1010. That's our local number.
One more time.
661-702-1010. And they're also welcome to go onto our website, which they're able to quote their own, look at all the plans in the marketplace on our data website, which is myhealthquote.com.
Which is great when it comes to doing research.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wayne Smith, SCI and Associates. This has been your Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight on AM 1220 KHTS.